What's up, this is Laidback Luke, DJ and producer, and a little while back I put out this video where I explained that I think this app could be the future of DJing. One thing is for sure, it'll be the future of my DJing. At the time I recorded that video, I didn't have it fully functional onto my setup yet, but I'm happy to announce that it's actually been several months where I've properly tested it on my setup in clubs and festivals, and man, I'm hooked. In this video, I'll get a bit more technical and I will also show you how exactly I connect this to my flagship Denon setup. Let's dive in. Let me first start by saying that I'm a fan, and I've been a fan of this app. I actually had and still have a subscription on it before Algoriddim got in touch with me. Prior to us working together, I would actually record a cappellas into Ableton using the neural mix technology, and I had no clue how to properly connect it. So I had found a workaround recording it just straight into Ableton like that. As I'm working together with them now, giving them feedback and pointers, and them implementing my feedback eagerly, it's been such a pleasant experience. Okay, so what is it? The name pretty much explains it, but in short, it's a DJ app. It's on various platforms, Android and PC as well, but the neural mix technology is only on iPhone, iPad and on Mac desktop for now. The pro part comes from it being, well, pro. Anything you can do on a flagship DJ setup, you can do on the app, whether it's mixing up to 4 decks, to all the effects, faders and knobs you need to be able to play a proper DJ set. But it does more than that. The neural mix option takes it to another level, and that's where the AI part comes in. The AI part doesn't mean the app will DJ or mix for you. The AI part comes into the part where it isolates and recognizes frequencies on the fly for you to be able to surgically remove elements in your music. There's the obvious live mashups you can do with any a cappella or vocal of your choosing. For instance, this is my a cappella folder on the DJ Pro AI app, which actually doesn't exist of any a cappellas, but of full tracks. Why would I use it? Because none of the flagship systems have this implemented at the moment. Name your fancy brands from hardware and software, and no one is doing what Algoriddim, the DJ Pro AI app company, is doing. DJing from a phone, hooking my iPhone up to my DJ hardware is a conscious decision. Yes, I could hook up an iPad or a laptop, but I've never been a fan of that. And who knows, in the future I will. Never say never, but right at this moment, I'm very comfortable with having my phone being the go-to processor for this app. It's way smaller than an iPad or a clunky laptop, and so it's not in the way of the crowd and I've connected it to where any DJ fader or button that needs to move is programmed to be controlled by the hardware. If it's working the pitch slider, to working the DJ platter, to hot cue points, but as well as changing the key of a track and my access to neural mix. In contrary to my previous videos, there's not many things that I need to handle on my tiny little phone screen while I'm DJing live. And I love the fact that I can potentially roll up to the show, plug in my iPhone, and start my set. With as powerful as the phones have become, and you see it across all platforms, if it's photography, video, but even in daily life, it's undeniable the phones are taking over and are only going to improve more and more. And at this day and age, it's been a logical step for me to have my phone implemented in my professional DJ setup. Before we go into the pros and cons, make sure to give me a like right now and hit that subscribe button as well if you like these types of videos. Obviously, my Denon SC 6000 players can connect to Wi-Fi, and during the pandemic I've been testing with streaming tracks from Tidal. After everything kind of opened back up again, it has been tricky to implement this in a club or festival setting, as Wi-Fi can be tricky sometimes. What's amazing about a phone is that there's the cellular signal as well if Wi-Fi falls away. That's been an absolute lifesaver on the phone, where the Wi-Fi signal would sometimes just be too weak and I would still be able to load tracks in because of 5G or LTE. Also, I currently use my phone as my dedicated DJ USB stick, where I have new promos and tracks on there through my iCloud folders. And those aren't dependent on Wi-Fi or data because they are locally downloaded on my phone. Essentially, they still load and load fast even if my phone is in airplane mode. What I also like that the DJ Pro AI app does is how it handles the various playlists. You can pull tracks from, say, any streaming or DJ streaming service and mix that with your iCloud folders onto one dedicated playlist. This means no swapping through services as you are DJing live. It's all just stashed into one dedicated playlist, regardless of where you pull the track from. I really needed to find out what the Do Not Disturb function on my phone really included, because in a couple of tests and even DJing out, I had seen texts coming in, but also a few times I was testing the setup here at home and my alarm cut through all the music. If you have people that are in your favorites call you, this could potentially disrupt your DJ set as well. So that's good to be aware of. Setting up can still be a little bit tricky as the system doesn't connect sometimes. It's also stressful if you have a weak signal, even on data when you see the track downloading into the app real slow. But I'm sure in about a decade, connectivity will not be an issue regardless of where you're at. We'll tell our grandkids we would have times and occasions sometimes where we wouldn't have any signal. On airplanes, the signal would be so bad you wouldn't be able to watch videos. Remember those times when we used to need to restart the router? And they'll be amazed that something essential like connectivity wouldn't be fully covered 24/7. Obviously, it's too bad that the Neural Mix technology isn't on Android and PC yet. Before I tell you how I connect my phone to my DJ setup, let me know what you think of all of this in the comments below. Are you open to new technology, or would you rather stick to a normal setup? Let me know down below. Okay, so first of all, you'll need a connector like this. This is a Lightning to USB camera adapter. It is actually meant to connect a camera into your phone through the USB here. And you see that it creates a USB connection that goes into the Lightning port of my iPhone. In the USB connection here, I'll plug in a simple USB hub. And then I have two of these wires, which the square side goes into, one for in the DJ mixer and one for in the Denon SC6000 player. I believe that these cables are called USB to printer cable. And on the other end, there's a USB connection, which goes into that simple USB hub. And then there's one more port left into the camera adapter, which I'll just plug in a regular iPhone charging cable, and then the other end of the iPhone charging cable into one of the SC6000 players so I won't run out of juice while I'm DJing. So that's simply to charge my phone. I'm also using this simple and light portable phone stand, which makes the phone just stand right over the mixer. Let's have a look at my iPhone settings now. First of all, in your phone settings, under display and brightness, I've changed the auto lock setting to never. This way your phone screen will never lock when you're in the mix. And note, and I've been there, if you have your phone on battery safe mode, the screen will go black regardless. So turn that off if you want your phone to not lock while you're in the mix. And again, I'll have the Do Not Disturb on as well, which is now under focus settings, and under allowed notifications. Under people and apps, I have none allowed allocated. So literally nothing will get through in Do Not Disturb mode. Within the DJ Pro AI app, in their settings, I'll go to Audio Device Setup, where I choose External in the mixer mode. What this means is that I will actually use the Denon mixer as my audio output device, and all the fader, EQ, and effects, I will still use it from my actual Denon hardware. In the Audio Device Setup menu, you'll also see which hardware output you can assign to your decks. In my case, I like having my deck 1 on channel 3 on the Denon mixer and my deck 2 on channel 4 on the Denon mixer. And channel 3 coincides with the XI1850 Prime channel 5 and 6, and channel 4 with channel 7 and 8 in the app. Having done so, I just need to make sure my channel 3 and 4 on the Denon mixer are set to USB input. What's also good to know is that I'll need to have my one Denon player set to computer mode. This is also the Denon mode where you can access your Serato if you use that. And on the SC6000, just go to source and then hit that little computer icon to do that. And after that, there it is. You'll be able to access the app and use the hardware to make it work. Hitting the old school layer button on my SC6000 will let me go from deck 1 to deck 2 thanks to Denon's layer functionality. I did some MIDI control reprogramming to access the neural mix and some other functions the way I like it, but I'm thinking of showing you how to do that in another vlog. Let me know in the comments below if you'd be interested to see that. Now, the bad news is that Algoriddim has not mapped the SC5000 players yet, but they're working on that right now. But the good news is that they mapped the Prime 4 as well. The LC6000 is also mapped and ready to use with DJ Pro AI. I've seen comments come by for a new In My Mind DJ set using this setup, which is absolutely something I'm planning on doing real soon. So make sure to hit that subscribe button right now to not miss out. Overall, I've been super happy and excited adding DJ Pro AI to my Denon Prime setup. It's been amazing getting so much functionality and flexibility added to my flagship setup. I've always been open to new technology, and in the dawn and age of AI, I'm so happy to embrace what's the latest right now and what's up ahead. And what's ahead is a lot more vlogs. I can't wait to catch you on the next one. Until then, L's up.